When I got up this morning and I knew I needed to come to the launch conference, I immediately grabbed my iPhone and I booked a Lyft. Right? That was how I got my transportation. And then I know that tomorrow night I have dinner plans and I need to make a reservation for a restaurant, so I can grab the Open Table app on my iPhone. So why is it so difficult to book appointments for the other 70 categories of services that are not restaurants or transportation? That was the motivation and the impetus to creating the MyTime app. And I want to walk you through how I could get a haircut at the last minute. Let's say that it was like last night and I looked at myself in the mirror and I realized that I needed a haircut before I got up on stage. Let's show you how we would do that. So we'd open up the app and we would just search for haircut. And what this is going to do is it's going to pull the open appointments from all the salons in the area and display them right here. And if I want to find someone who's really close to my house, I can just click the map button and see them like viewed right on a map. Now, I live up in Lower Pacific Heights, so let's say I'm looking for a place on Fillmore Street. Robert Anthony Salon, you can see that you can get information about the business, photographs, location, and ratings and reviews, both from Yelp and from previous MyTime users. Now, when I'm ready to book, I just click the Book Appointment button. And it asks me a few questions, because this determines the price and the appointment duration. And now, this is the magic part, it's pulled up his calendar in real time. It's actually integrated and connected to his calendar system, and it's showing me his availability. We're not actually his calendar. I think a lot of people have that misconception. He's using some other calendar program, but we integrate into dozens of popular calendar programs on the market that these small businesses use so that we can pull the availability into our app and allow you to book and purchase in one place. Now, notice there's some sale times. This is a dynamic pricing feature, and what this means is that the off-peak times that are so difficult for him to fill, he's allowed to discount only those times, and MyTime helps him with the algorithm of how much he should be discounting it. Now, as an entrepreneur who's pretty thrifty, I generally have a flexible schedule and always look for these discounted times, as I'm sure many of you would as well. So let's go for the $35 time, and at this point, we can add it to our cart, and this is pretty standard. My credit card's already on file because I've used the app before, so I just hit Complete Purchase, and I've now booked and purchased the appointment, and it showed up in his calendar, so he'll be expecting me. No calls required. You can do this 24/7. In fact, in our early pilot test that we launched in Los Angeles on a web-only platform, we found that 44% of bookings were happening after the business had closed for the day. That's because people do things late at night, early in the morning. They do things on their own time and not on the business's time. That's so valuable, and it's really empowering. But we also know that you're a creature of habit, and you probably go back to the same place over and over again. You're not always just searching for a new stylist. So we built a favorites page. Now, the favorites page has all of your regular businesses. And you can see the Robert Anthony Salon that we just booked showed up on the favorites page because we booked them, as well as my other ones. And you can also see that you don't have to answer all those questions again. There's only 2 clicks now. When do you want to go? And confirm. That's it. 2 clicks and you're rebooked and purchased. We'll even send you a reminder when it's time for you to go get that thing done again, so you don't have to track the probably 40 or 50 services you get every year in your life, from auto detailing to oil changes, facials, massages, haircuts. All of that stuff is in there. Now, we know that it can be a hassle to load up the favorites page, so we brainstormed a little bit and came up with a really clever solution. Go click on Add More Favorites at the bottom, and you can actually import your favorites right from your iPhone. It cross-references the phone numbers and the addresses that are in your contacts and calendar with like 20 million businesses from the factual database, and it shows all the matches right here, so you can just import all of them all at once, and you're fully populated with a favorite screen. Pretty awesome. Great, and so this is pretty much the basic MyTime app, but we signed up around several thousand businesses in our pilot in Los Angeles and San Francisco, but it turns out there's about 3 million businesses in the country that are in our categories of services. So we're just a small startup. We didn't have time to sign up 3 million businesses before launching. So we came up with the idea of a thin profile. So let me demonstrate that. Let's say that we search for a massage in Denver, Colorado for my father, like as a birthday gift. So now we're going to search in Denver, and you're still going to see lots and lots of results, even though we've never actively signed up anyone in Denver. So we'll click on the Dos Manos massage. Let's do that one at the top. Great. And now it says request appointment instead of book. So when we go through that, it still knows some stuff about him because we're able to scrape and crawl. So let's choose the kind of massage that we want. We know his general hours of operation. We just don't have an integration into his calendar yet. So it says select multiple times that work for you. We're asking you to select a few different times now. So we can still choose a couple of times. And at this point, our sales team will get an email and it'll go into a table for them to call and concierge that appointment. And it happens in like a minute or two. It's still pretty fast. It's just not instantaneous. And of course, they'll ask the business to connect their calendar to MyTime as long as they're on the phone. And that happens with about a 70% success rate. So that's how we are launching our app with 2 million businesses this Thursday. Now, there's a couple of other things which I'm not going to show you right now, but you can certainly leave ratings and reviews. You can reschedule or cancel, which is also really useful because we're always on the go and plans change. And then in the next release, which will come out in a few weeks, it's actually going to check your calendar and their calendar at the same time. So it only shows you the available times for both of you. And then you can just tell Siri, book me a haircut on Saturday. And it'll just pull up the available times. It knows where you go, which employee you see, which services you generally get, and it's just done. It's really, really nice. So let's see. So that's the demo of the app. So I guess what else to tell you is that please go to mytime.com/download. That's mytime.com/download, so you can be notified on Thursday when the app goes live in the App Store. And to support the expansion from just the Los Angeles pilot to a national presence, we're hiring sales and support people, just junior level people, maybe right out of college, and of course a few more software engineers with mobile experience. We're also raising mid-size Series A to support that expansion. Thank you.
Great. Let's hear it for Ethan. And let's start on this side with Joyce.
Does your app require them to have a consumer-facing online booking software system, or just an online booking software that's not even consumer-facing?
So we support client apps as well. It's a downloadable plugin that screen scrapes the different programs. So currently it supports Outlook, iCal, and a few others.
And what percentage of the booking systems are you able to integrate to now?
About 90%.
Okay. Wow.
Yes, the payments are processed through authorize.net. We have the credit card on file. And we don't charge your credit card until after the booking happens, so you don't have to prepay, but then we pay the merchant, and we keep a small commission off that.
I'll just say thank you, busy mother and psyched.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, I got the same thing. I don't have a question for you per se, but I think the checking the iPhone import to find the businesses that you already have in your contacts is extremely clever. And so it's little integrations like that I think are genius. And the other is their calendar versus your calendar and only presenting those times. Anything you can do on a phone to just save clicks, save scrolling, save BS is fantastic. So kudos.
Thank you. Great.
So you can talk a little bit about merchant acquisition, right? Because this is I assume it's kind of a geographic rollout strategy. So what it takes to acquire merchants, because sometimes, it takes a lot of kind of feet on the street. And then also, do you need a lot of marketing dollars to build consumer awareness that people know to download the app and use it?
Okay, so those are two big questions. So let me take the first one first. So we signed up several thousand businesses just basically going after the top-rated businesses in Los Angeles during the pilot. But do you remember the thin profile demonstration?
Yep.
We're going to sign up businesses that consumers are actually asking for, so there's a more direct matching of supply and demand.
Okay.
When we sign up a business, and this gets to your second question, we ask them for their customer database, and we start emailing and marketing to their own customers, and they bring with them 2,000 to 3,000 clients because we sign them up, and of course we give them like a $10 coupon to incentivize it. So it brings on several thousand customers each time we sign up a business.
Smart.
I mean, it's a fantastic service. I mean, we see millions of people in foot traffic that go to concierge, and they are always asking, how do I book this? How I want to get it into that place. I want a stylist to see here. Have you ever thought, and it's kind of Aileen's last question to the other group, how would you see this packaged? Where do you want to see it go? Do you want to see it be a standalone consumer on-demand type of play like an Uber, or do you want to white label it to companies like mine?
So we're already doing that. I didn't get their permission to announce the integrations, but we're already powering local e-commerce on other sites where there's now you can imagine directories of local businesses where there's now a book appointments or purchase services button that's powered by MyTime, and it either leads to a co-branded experience or there's a widget on their site. So we're working with some companies that have 50 to 60 million uniques a month already, and we're piloting these integrations.
Great. Thanks.
Awesome. Let's hear it for MyTime. Well done.
Thank you.